Greetings. By virtue of your presence watching this video today, I want you to know that we consider you to be an extended member of our family at Unity in Linwood. We believe that you are an individualized expression of that one creative impetus which stands behind all life, and as such we celebrate the uniqueness which you are, and we celebrate our unity with you. We are glad you're with us. Good morning, Unity in Linwood. Good morning, Unity in Linwood, and good morning, Unity in Linwood. I am now in the presence of pure being. And immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I acknowledge your presence and your power. O blessed Spirit, in your divine wisdom, now remove my mortal limitations, and from your pure substance of love, bring into manifestation my world, according to your perfect law. Words of Charles Fillmore. Please join me on Tuesday evening for the beginning of Adult Education 2018. I will teach a class called Unity Basics, a great place to start. 7 o'clock Tuesday evening. There is no need to register for this class. Why would we do adult education at Unity in Linwood? It makes life better. Fair enough? It makes life better. Please consider joining us this Saturday at 10 o'clock a.m. for what we affectionately call our Christmas undecorating party. It should take about an hour to put things away. May I have a show of hands, please? Who's willing to show up Saturday at 10 o'clock? So Barbara, you and I will 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we've got it handled. Thank you so much. This Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning, every service has an ambassador. This person's role is to support you in your exploration and discovery of this evolving divine idea we call Unity in Linwood. So if you have a question about who we are, about what we believe, about what we teach, about what is available to you, you are welcome to engage at least one noble soul in conversation. For this service, I believe I've seen Nan Allen in attendance. Would you wave to these kind people, please? Nan Allen. And practical spirituality, welcoming community. It is a short mission statement, but I do believe it speaks volumes. Don't you? So every week I like to support this with one of the 6 bullet points which we developed in conversation with your Board of Trustees beginning in late 2014. Take a deep breath. See if this is a spiritual value, if it is a position in consciousness with which you can align. It reads as follows. We offer a metaphysical teaching which encourages regular spiritual practice, including prayer, meditation, affirmation, denial, service, and study. Fair enough? So think about your life and consider the following question. Can you experience an ending that's not truly a beginning? Can you experience a fall that's not truly a rise, a release that's not truly an acquisition? Think about your life and consider the question, can you experience a no that's not cloaking something of a yes? And if you can, then I will ask you to think about it again. Because I don't really think it's possible. You know, it's a very Taoist idea. Seeming opposites coexisting, not as antagonists, but as necessary counterparts, fond bedfellows, if you will. each providing the energy that supports and empowers the existence of the other, seeming opposites coexisting in something of a beautiful symbiotic unity. The very symbol of the Taoist tradition itself speaks to this cosmic dance, to this universal interplay of seeming opposites that so defines what it means to be a soul privileged with this earthly experience of shadow and light, cold and hot, down and up, death and birth. And make no mistake, that's exactly what it is. It is a privilege. I have to believe that countless souls linger on the fringes of this world, longing for this thick experience in which we can touch each other's hands, smell baking bread, watch the miracles of Puget Sound. I have to believe that countless souls linger at the edges of this experience, longing to listen to the concertos of Chopin. Yet how tempting it is to miss such simple but glorious experiences because, well, schedules, and because, well, problems, and because, well, responsibilities. The Buddhist tradition says it this way, that if you toss a life preserver into the oceans of the planet, the likelihood of receiving a human incarnation is about the same as one specific sea turtle randomly surfacing to find his head in that life preserver. So to be clear, if you consider the area of the oceans to be some 341 million square kilometers, and the area of a life preserver's opening to be maybe half a square meter, we arrive at odds of that sea turtle finding himself wearing that new polyethylene necklace somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 in 700 million. And here's the deal, in considering the countless events which conspired for the incarnation which landed you in this seat, listening to these words, scientists would say that the metaphor actually offers accurate odds. Now, I won't dig into those odds this morning. That would be a different lesson for a different Sunday, as we say. But at this time of the year in which we so actively dedicate ourselves to ideas of the beginning, of the rise, of the acquisition, ideas of the yes, we at Unity in Linwood dedicate this particular Sunday to their necessary counterparts. In other words, we at Unity in Linwood turn our attention this morning to that which would end, to that which would fall, to that which would be released from our grasp, and that in the face of which we will, from this day forth, issue a resounding no. As part of an ongoing cycle of which each one of us is a part. Myrtle Fillmore spoke to this subject, I think, and I do quote, Unity's mission in our world is to help people release those fears and hurts that bind and confine, that we may experience and express the love that we are. Charles, in more colorful language, and I quote, the mind, like the bowels, should remain open and free. Now, in both, the central message leaves us with something of an image of release, if you will. In both quotes, the central message leaves us with strong images of undoing, of removing, clearing, freeing, detaching, of lightening, of forgiving, of letting go. It's an idea that is mirrored in history. You understand, ancient people recognized nature as a wise teacher who dictated the release of aspects of life as the years go by, relationships, attitudes, habits, attachments, that life might reveal new potentialities. It's a paradigm representing a reality in which endings and beginnings coexist. It's an idea that's mirrored in religion. The Hindu goddess Kali is the great mother goddess. She is seen as the womb from which all are born, the womb to which all must return. A goddess representing a reality in which endings and beginnings coexist. The Hebrew Bible reminds us that there is, of course, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to sow and a time to reap, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. A teaching representing a paradigm in which endings and beginnings coexist. It is an idea that is mirrored in mythology, my favorite, told in fables of the sweet-songed phoenix of Arabia, who upon reaching the end of a cycle of life builds a pyre for himself, and upon being consumed by the flames, he issues forth as a new being, young and renewed from a red egg. Now, some describe her feathers as colored like those of a peacock, others as tinged in purple, like the robes of a nobleman. Ezekiel, the dramatist, claimed that her legs were red and that her eyes were striking yellow, while Lactantius claimed that her legs, covered in scales, were yellow gold with rose-colored talons, and that her eyes sparkled blue like sapphires. Now, this phoenix is not the bird of Arabia alone. He's also known to fly through the northern lights over the plains of Lapland. He's known to hop among the yellow flowers in the summers of Greenland. He's also known to float down the sacred waters of the Ganges on a lotus leaf. But regardless of form, what is this winged wonder, if not yet another restatement of a reality in which beginnings and endings are inextricably bound? Now, in the Southwest, he looks a lot like the Thunderbird. In England, he looks a lot like Arthur's dragons. I would propose that at Unity in Linwood on the last Sunday of 2017, he looks a lot like you. Looks a lot like you. Looks a lot like me. For whether you look to history or religion or mythology, the message is the same. There is a reality in which beginnings and endings coexist, each necessary to the other. We release that we might realize new potentialities. We return to the womb that we might be born anew. We tear down that we might build up. So the remainder of today's service will include a burning bowl ceremony, during which you'll have the opportunity to write a word. I understand everyone received a piece of flash paper upon entry. Is that correct? Would you hold them up for me? This is my third grade teacher coming out. If you did not receive one and you would like one, you're welcome to raise your hand. A member of the welcome team would be happy to accommodate you. You'll have the opportunity to write a word or two or three. These are words which represent aspects of life which you are willing to toss into the transforming fires of that pyre, to fling into that purifying smoke of the pyre, if you will, in preparation for those new potentialities, in preparation to be born anew, in preparation to build up. Now, I use the word willing, and I think it's an important word. For it's all too common that in our rituals, in our prayers, we seek changed circumstances without changed consciousness. In other words, it's all too common for the human creature to want a new outer world without anything of a new inner world. And this is not the prayer which we teach or encourage. So with every word which you toss into the transforming fires, with every word which you fling into that purifying smoke, I would invite you to take the following statement: I am willing to become new. And if we glue those two together, it goes something like this: I am willing to become new. We will begin with a period of visualization. So if you're comfortable doing so, take a deep breath. Make your body comfortable in whatever way suits you. This will last 4 or 5 minutes. Let's allow our imaginations to carry us to something of an arid land, perhaps a desert. Let's allow our imaginations to envision a setting sun. And we're adding sticks to a pyre, branches to a pyre that reaches higher, higher, ever higher. And it's a sturdy pyre. It's supported by thick trunks which converge near the top, far from reach. More sticks and branches, more sticks and branches, more sticks and branches, until at last you sit upon a stone and look upon this monolithic structure. And without any sense of surprise, we become aware of two companions sitting on either side of us. And without speaking a word, the companion to your left asks, "Shall we begin?" And without speaking a word, the companion to your right asks, "Shall we begin?" And with a simple nod of your head, with a gesture of willingness, the pyre blazes to life. Its transforming flames reaching, its purifying smoke spiraling heavenward. And so it is that you allow the question to rise, what would I offer to the transforming flames today? And with any image that begins to dance before your mind's eye, you uncurl your fingers to find a word written upon a piece of bark as it rests in the palm of your hand. And as the question rises, first from the companion to your left, "Are you ready?" And then from the companion to your right, "Are you ready?" You toss that piece of bark into the transforming flames as you say, "I am willing to become new. I am willing to become new. I am willing to become new." What would I offer to the purifying smoke of this pyre today? And with any image that begins to dance before your mind's eye, again and again you uncurl your fingers to find a word written upon a piece of bark. And as the question rises, first from the companion at your left, "Are you ready?" And then from the companion to your right, "Are you ready?" You fling that piece of bark into the purifying smoke as you say, "I am willing to become new. I am willing to become new." Over and over and over, until at last the images cease and you find yourself at peace, just you and your companions. And yet, even though the images have ceased, and even though you find yourself at peace, just you and your companions, you become aware of a weight in your hand. And so yet again, and one last time, you uncurl your fingers, only to find that in the palm of your hand, where those pieces of bark had appeared, now rests a glimmering white stone. It's decidedly blank. Undeniably beautiful. It's unquestionably infinite, and it is irrefutably yours. And this glimmering white stone fills you with a sense of profound hope, an experience of eager anticipation. A deep sense of promise. So in your imagination, you allow your fingers to close about him, and you tuck it away, knowing that it will reveal its wisdom to you in upcoming days, that it will indeed bear for you a new name. Let's take a deep breath together and bring our attention back to this physical space. What I would invite you to do at this point is to write any words which you would choose to contribute to the physical ritual. What I would have you know is that your flash paper burns quickly. So keep your hairspray back. What will happen is that our prayer chaplains will stand witness for you. There will be 2 prayer chaplains behind each table. You're welcome to come forward at this time, chaplains, and they will ask you as you approach to burn your word. They will ask you, they will say, "Are you ready?" And if you are so inclined, if you are so willing, you may respond by saying, "I am willing to become new. I am willing to become new. I am willing to become new." You may come up completely at your convenience. And grab a white stone.
And love will set us free. Whoa, by the Father God, there's a healing going on. By the Father God, there's a healing going on. Yeah, by the Father God, there's a healing going on. I said, oh, you're rocking my soul. Saxophone. There's a healing going on. Come on, Tommy, sing it with me. There's a healing going on. Come on, Rob. There's a healing going on. There's a healing going on. Yeah. There's a healing going on.
How you feel? It's a favorite piece. I love to read it every year. It reads as follows. The Midwest seems to have stumbled upon an unexpectedly early autumn. We have remained shrouded in ominous clouds for a number of days, and the rain has continued. Summer warmth has given way to the surprising air of autumn, and the sun draws her curtains earlier and earlier. The flowers from our Rose of Sharon tree decay in the mulch, and the remnants from the cicada's youth litter our walls and our trees. The light is gradually fading from our days. These are the facts, and facts are facts, but I remain ironically comforted. I remain ironically comforted by nature's reminder that my current experience only masks life's desire to unfold an unimaginable, never-before-seen beauty. I remain ironically comforted by nature's reminder that my current experience only masks life's desire to make all things new. Ultimately, I remain ironically comforted by nature's reminder that the truths of my life are always bigger than the facts of my life. The Midwest seems to have stumbled upon an unexpectedly early autumn. The light is gradually fading from our days, but I know it will return. And the flowers from our Rose of Sharon tree will be more beautiful than ever before. Thanks again for joining us. Please visit unityandlinwood.org for a preview of all upcoming classes, services, and events, and for an opportunity to make a gift to our community should you so choose. Thank you.